the age-old question of which is better, or which should I do, a new property or an old property. I suppose this is distinctly for investors. Each of them have their pros and cons, okay? If I'm to sort of rattle off pros and cons for each of them, I'd sort of come to let's say, for example, a newer property, and I'm going to say, let's say a house and land package, for example. The stamp duty is generally one that comes into it because you only pay stamp duty on the block of land. So that can sometimes be a barrier to entry for people looking to buy the established stock because they just don't have the funds to complete. So that's one thing to look at. Another pro to it as well is that you are getting a new product, so it is a brand new house. It hasn't been lived in before. The third thing that you would look at maybe is the maintenance requirement on it. So generally, as I said, it's brand new, so you get new fixtures, fittings, appliances, all of that is new product. So they generally come with warranties. You get structural warranties from the builder as well. So if there's anything that goes wrong or anything like that, you generally have that covered for you within a set period of time. Most favorable for investors generally is what's called a depreciation of the dwelling or of the property. So that's essentially a write-down value or a bookkeeping expense on the fixtures, fittings, and the dwelling itself. So you get a quantity surveyor will give you a report. You give that to your accountant or tax agent at the end of the year, and that will effectively be reduced off your taxable income. So it's favorable from that tax perspective. So that is liked by a lot of investors. So on the downside though, you do have to build the house, so you've got construction time to think about, which you have to factor in as a cost as well. Also as well, you've got to wait, or you could have timelines to wait on registered blocks of land as well if it's not ready to go. And as well, maybe there's an element of risk that's in this scenario as well, because generally they're built in greenfield estates, so maybe not all the infrastructure is already in there, and there's an element of a vision has to be applied to the overall project to see what's coming down the line and buy into that as well.